위험했다. 붕어빵은 머리부터 먹는 게 아니에요. 그럴 뻔했잖아요.
Just a PSA that if you are a foreigner, Koreans don't expect you to call them 형, 누나, 언니, or oppa. So don't go around calling every Korean you see oppa or 언니.
Just because you can say "Oppa saranghae" in 46 different tones and voice inflections does not mean you're Korean. What is a koreaboo? This is someone who fetishizes Korean culture and Korean people. If you're just learning the Korean language or have a genuine interest in the culture or moving to Korea, that is not a koreaboo. There is a difference between appreciation and having a fetish. Number one, the LGBT community in Korea during COVID. South Korea is experiencing a marked increase in online threats and discrimination against lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people who are being unfairly accused of spreading COVID-19.
This video is for people who like Asian guys, Asian music, Asian food, especially K-pop and K-dramas. So if you're not interested, you can keep scrolling. I get these type of comments all the time, especially from girls. And they always say how much they like Asian guys, they like the music, they like the food, they like the culture. But that they're too scared to show their interest because they'll get called a koreaboo. Now you might be one, I don't know that. You're a stranger to me, just as I'm a stranger to you. But I want to show you what a koreaboo really looks like. Just read this message I got the other day. Are you Korean? Because you look like one. But if you're not, then never mind, you can just ignore this message. The way I see the message is that if I were to be Korean, she would want to talk to me, she wants to get to know me. And that's not the first time I got comments or messages like these. And to be honest with you, receiving those kind of messages kind of hurt. I'm not Korean, I'm Chinese. It hurts because it makes you feel like being any other type of Asian other than Korean means that you're automatically worthless. And I know only a minority think that way, but it still kind of hurts, you know?
Hello, this isn't just makeup. Here's why. Here is what Korean style makeup actually looks like. And here are some non-Korean people who have done Korean inspired makeup. Notice how they aren't manipulating the makeup in the way that it changes the shape of their eyes. So I'm assuming people like her are going for something that looks like this. And they do this. So in any of those pictures that I showed you before, were any of them wearing their eyeliner like this? No, that was their natural eye shape. These girls are clearly manipulating the makeup to make themselves look more Eastern Asian. So again, it's not just makeup. Stop defending it. Thanks.
Okay, so I seen this tweet on my timeline earlier that says, can we discuss how Taehyung sometimes be saying out-of-pocket mean things to his fans, but we let it slide because he fine? Let's have a conversation, shall we? Okay, first things first, Taehyung has not been saying anything out of pocket recently. Y'all are only big mad because he's not living up to this fetish that y'all have of him. Let's just keep it real. A lot of you fans think they're going to be this Wattpad fanfiction character, and that's not them. So now they're standing up for themselves. So now they're mean. That's bullshit. And if you're only standing them because of their looks, then you're not a fan to begin with, period. And it's because of y'all delusional ass fans that are the reason why everybody in the K-pop community are labeled as koreaboos. Some of y'all fans tend to forget that these are actual people. They're not your property. They're not your oppa. They're none of this. Let it go. Let it go, please. Eventually, they're going to get married. They're going to have kids. And they're going to live their best life. But not with you. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all really need to learn y'all place as fans. Period.
Easiest way to check if you're a koreaboo. Here we go. Number 1, you see a hot Asian dude or Asian girl walking down the street. You go up to them. You find out that they're not Korean. Are you disappointed or does it not matter? If you're disappointed that they're not Korean, you're a koreaboo. Number 2, you're shopping around in a clothing store and you're like, everything in here is so ugly. Your friend picks up a piece of clothing and it's like, made in Korea. And you're like, you a koreaboo.
Please stop fetishizing Korean people and culture. You make the rest of us expats look bad. You will not meet your au pair here. He will not sarang you. Men are trash everywhere. All cultures have both good and bad aspects. In Korea, they put sugar on garlic bread, yet they have wonderful fried chicken, so we still come. So please, stop being a koreaboo, or just don't come.
That you think that Korean Korean men aren't misogynistic and don't have a problem.
What's funnier is that you generalize mostly all Korean men, if not all, for being misogynist.
Things that are considered unacceptable behavior towards women in the West are considered whatever or even romantic in Korean culture. For example, BTS ARMY, do you remember this? Jin just slammed a girl that he likes, against the locker. In America, this would be considered not cool whatsoever. But in Korean culture, it's not a big deal. Also notice, the title in English is Boy in Love, but in Korean, it's 상남자. 상남자 is a compliment. It means manly man. I love BTS. I am BTS ARMY, long time. But come on, guys. This is a mainstream depiction of a manly man in Korea.
When Asians are your type, but you don't try to talk to them because they think you're a koreaboo. Like, I'm not a koreaboo. Asians are really my type.
I'll go buy, like, you know, some, like, fish with, like, chocolate ice cream in it, maybe some face masks. And, like, I heard, like, BTS has, like, a new CD out. Yeah? You know what? Don't even start with me right now, Oppa. No, like, don't even.
There is no one there.
Stop. If I have to count to 3, really? You're gonna make me count to 3. Okay. Hana, Jewel, Set, Knit.
This headband did indeed come from the lost and found at work. Probably lost by an 11-year-old girl, but I couldn't resist. 사랑해, 용기 오빠.
One thing I don't understand about all you koreaboos is that all of you talk about wanting a Korean boyfriend, but the thing is, like, Korean men are fucking trash. In general, Korean men are trash. Like, I would never be caught dead with one.
This friend is obsessed with Asians, and she loves K-pop, so she told me that her great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother was Korean. Like, bitch, what the actual fuck? I don't even know my great-grandma. She isn't even Asian, and she said she had an Asian cousin. The fuck, are you adopted or something? She thinks lying makes her look cool, but she looks like a clown. A fucking clown. People think she's funny not cause she's funny. It's cause she's a fucking clown. She pretends like she is fluent in Korean. My other friend started speaking gibberish acting like it was Korean and asked her if she understood it. She said yeah. That fucking idiot, absolute clownery. You belong to a circus, you fucking hooligan.
You're pregnant? How is that possible? We never even had... Wait a second. That's right, Opar. During those months we had broken up, I met another namja. I was at the farmer's market. Onions on sale. Omo, that's the most daebak ass I've ever seen. Would you like to go eat Korean barbecue with me? Okay. And that's how it happened. You thought his butt looked nice and you ate Korean barbecue and he impregnated you? Wigure! Don't you get it? Saranghae-yo, Opar! You're all I've ever wanted! And besides, it's our baby now. You fucking psychopath. I'm jincha disappointed in you. I'm calling the cops. I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Opar. Onion? Opar?
한국 모든 분들 메리 크리스마스 줬어요. 행복과 사랑이 깃든 크리스마스 제 바람을 여러분께 보내요.
You guys asked and you will receive. Here's the story time on how I met a crazy koreaboo girl in my study hall last year. So I met this girl in my study hall last year and she said that she liked BTS. But I could tell that she was lying to me about everything. Because for one, she told me that she's been a fan since debut, but she didn't know that Hoseok and J-Hope were the same person. Quite honestly, I don't even think she knew that Hoseok was a member of BTS. Beside the point. So she told me that after the concert at MetLife, she was walking home with her friend and BTS came and picked them up in their limo. So obviously she's lying. This would never happen. Because one, they don't take limos to get back to their hotel. And two, they would never pick up an ARMY and drive them home when they live 2 hours away from their hotel. And she was like, oh, me and ARMY were snuggling. He gave me his phone number. And just to be a bitch, I was like, oh, so what did Namjoon think of that? And she was like, oh, he was so jealous. I was like, girl, shut up. I know you lying to me. I could tell you guys more stories about her because she told me so much crazy shit. It's ridiculous.
왜 그래? Espero, por favor, deseo que las chicas de las que voy a hablar no encuentren este TikTok. Hace como un año yo estaba en un bazar en el barrio chino de San José y se me acercaron dos chicas menores que yo. Yo supe que todo iba mal cuando vi que las chicas traían un maquillaje como este. Ahí supe que todo se iba a poner horrible. Básicamente las chicas empezaron a gritarme que si se podían tomar una foto conmigo. Y yo, ¿por qué si quieren tomar una foto conmigo? A lo que una de ellas me respondió como, es que nos encanta el K-pop y eres coreana y eres súper linda y ajá. Yo no soy coreana. Al final les terminé rechazando la foto. Las chicas no se paraban de referir a mí como un y no paraban de hablar de K-pop y referirse a hombres como opa.
So I work at a hair salon, and this was about like a year ago. Still haunts me. This girl was sitting in my chair and I was cutting her hair. And I asked her what kind of music she listened to, and she goes, I listen to this certain genre of music and you probably don't even know what it is. I say, oh really, what kind of music is it? To which she goes, I listen to K-pop and I listen to this group called BTS and you've probably never heard of them before. Oh yeah, I know BTS, I'm a pretty big fan of them. This sets her off. She gets up out of her chair and starts doing the mic drop choreography. The whole salon is staring at her, and I just stand to the side because, yeah, I know the choreography, but I'm not gonna dance, I'm working. After she was done with her little scene, she sits back down, and she goes, I have this feeling that Jimin and I are gonna get married one day. It's fate. I wish I was kidding. Like, I genuinely wish, but this actually happened.
둘, 셋. 네가 너무 좋아. 어떡해. 네가 너무 예뻐. 어떡해. 나랑 만나볼래. 어떻게 생각해? 잔말만.
Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Shoes on, get up in the moon, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, get.
I'm trying to be even more Korean, so I'm eating Korean rice every day, and it's making me more Korean. So I've got Korean soy sauce, Korean rice, kimchi. I love Korea. Oh yes I do. You know it's true. You know I'm such a fan. So my goal is to get to 100% Korean, guys. So please give me some tips. How I can turn Korean? Should I have more plastic surgery? Should I do something else? Should I just bathe in kimchi? Just give me some suggestions, guys.